So let's go to the pledge allegiance in our invocation. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Well, Father, we just continue to be grateful and thankful to you for all our blessings in our personal life and the life of this city. We just pray for this meeting, God, that you would give us wisdom to make the correct decisions for our citizens. I thank you for everyone around this table and in this room. In Christ's name, amen.
Amen. There'll be an addition to the agenda and during the administrative committee reports. You've got it in front of the installment payment agreement between the City of Pelham and the Georgia Interlocal Risk Management Agency. That will be, again, Administration Committee Report number 8 in that report. Other than that, no changes that you are aware of to the agenda?
Those are all.
So with that, I'll entertain a motion to approve the agenda.
Make a motion, we approve the agenda as amended.
Okay, second by Councilman Davis. All those in favor, please raise your hand. Thank you. Motion passes. All right. Well, Mr. O'Neill, we'll go ahead and move into Southwest Georgia Regional Commission. Sure.
Resolution you have in front of you is a resolution to adopt the Mitchell County Pre-Disaster Mitigation Plan. As you may or may not know, in order to get funding in case something happens, you need to have a plan in place now. And this is actually just an update to the existing plan. Got some new goals and objectives. Lost my train of thought here.
You're going to lose it now.
Yeah, thank you for that. But at this time, it has been approved by GEMA, and GEMA reviews it to the same standards that FEMA reviews it. So we are actually adopting it pending FEMA approval. So after I get all the signatures, I send it on to the GEMA guy. He forwards it to FEMA. Hopefully they don't have to comment, but occasionally they do, and we usually take care of that. It's usually something very minor, so, but it does happen. And that is it.
Anybody got questions? Pretty straightforward.
I try to be.
All right, we need a motion then to adopt this resolution. Second by Councilman Parker. All those in favor, please raise your hand. All right, thank you. Motion passes.
Thank you.
Appreciate you being here.
Well, he's already obtained signatures from other cities and county on that. You'll go ahead and sign it.
Oh, sure.
Steve will take it back with him.
Sure.
He can send us a copy of it.
Lisa, did you get a chance to sign?
Oh, Lisa, excuse me.
Sure you don't want to read all 62 pages? That's not long, that page.
We talked about it at the work. Yeah. Good. I don't think I opened it. I did look at it.
Y'all have a good
Thanks,
day.
appreciate it. All right. Attachment B is the minutes from the prior meetings of August the 15th. And the adoption of the tax levy.
I move we adopt both sets of minutes.
Second by Councilman Davis. Any further discussion? All those in favor, please raise your hand.
Okay.
Okay, thank you. Motion passes. Okay. Financial statements, attachment C, we've all had an opportunity to look over those.
Two 100s are percent off on revenues, Doug, so you need to see about that.
2 100s.
Something like that.
I'll see if I can work on that.
1667 is what we're supposed to be, and we're at 1665. I move that the financials be adopted or approved.
Second.
Second by Councilman Clifton. Any other discussion? All those in favor, please raise your hand. Thank you, motion passes. Citizens delegation, Mitchell County Development Authority, anything from Paige? Better Hometown, Rebecca could not be here. She did, would you like to read it?
I got a chance to look at
I haven't read it, but I'll read it.
it. Okay.
Better Hometown has had a great time putting on, this is a report from Becca, putting on a dinner theater production of Fools a few weeks ago. The reviews of the performance and the meal that have been wonderful, and we feel so lucky to have been able to host an event that brought together the community for an evening of laughs. Up next on the Better Hometown calendar is the annual Pumpkin Patch. It will be held at the Depot platform on October 13th from 4 to 7. This year we will have a cow train, doggy costume contest, hot dog and snack sales, and as always, great events and games for the kids. Come buy your pumpkins with us as you begin your fall holiday decorating and carving. Lastly, I've been diligent in putting together a business and service listing and city data resource for Pelham. I will present this to Doug within the week and hope that we can go to print with this as we continue to promote Pelham among the state and interested investors in our community. That's the report from Better Hometown. And Kent, Chamber of Commerce.
Evening all. I'm going to go more or less in chronological order tonight because we've got many things coming up. Part of, with Paige not being here, y'all should be aware that on Thursday, September 22nd, Leadership Georgia will be in the Han Building. If you're not familiar with Leadership Georgia, this is an amazing program for young people. It's a one-year commitment that gets them out there across the entire state of Georgia, honing, educating on leadership skills. The fact that they chose one of their events to be in Pelham, Mitchell County altogether, is an honor. Prior trip to this one was St. Simon's Island, so they'll see things a little bit different than they've seen before. Within leadership, there's about 60 students. They encourage their spouses to be involved, but between leaders, educators, sponsors, we'll have some 225, 250 people from all over the state of Georgia in town on Thursday. So we've been working, and my hat's off and much thanks to the Garden Club for trying to get the downtown area spruced up, looking our best and putting our best foot forward. So the Chamber's working with Paige to help with that as much as we can. But it's a great opportunity for exposure. There's some in here who certainly have the ability to impact our economy, and we want to encourage that as much as possible. So coming out of that, we're right up on the Wildlife Festival. Wildlife Festival will kick off with the adult and student art show. As you know, again, across the state, art programs have certainly been cut drastically. So we're happy that we're able to stay involved with that. With the student portion, we work with the Flint River Arts Council. There's no entry fee for that. They'll get some very nice little cash prizes, but they'll get lots of coupons for ice cream and hamburgers and have a lot of fun and encourage young people to continue that. That happens on September 28th through October 1st. Again, it will be on display at the Han Building. Of course, then October 1st is the Wildlife Festival. We have about 85 different booths this year, every kind of art. Of course, Rotary will be there with funnel cakes, Civitans will be there with mullet plates, Masons will be there with barbecue plates, all of them raising money to try and everything that they give back to the community. It's a lot of fun. People enjoy themselves. A lot of work. I'm certainly glad when it's done and over with, but hopefully everybody can get out and enjoy themselves. Last year, the estimates were 14,000 to 16,000 people in Pelham. Again, this, and hopefully they're shopping while they're here. Excuse me. Between now and then, by September 30th, I have to complete a grant application that I've already begun. We talked about this as a work session. It is a Georgia Council of the Arts. The grant is very specific as to renovation of property. It can't be marketing or salaries or public relations or advertising. It's purely about property. So I started all that paperwork. We had met, Miriam and I have talked some more as far as the Heritage Arts Council and getting everything situated. Everything in terms with the board of directors at the chamber, the prior committee that was involved in renovation, everything is situated and resolved. Basically, at this point, that committee has retired, and we will move forward with, based on the resolution the city's put in place, that all of the decisions will be, the city will approve any renovations that occur in that building. Mary and I, as current, we could get replaced tomorrow, you never know. But as current, we will work together to make sure that we can get the museum situated and try and be able to have it open a lot more often by having it located within the chamber itself. I do hope that my last piece of this that I have to resolve before the 30th is what I submit as a budget. The request can be up to matching $20,000. We had a brief conversation, some consideration of whether the city thought they might be able to do something. Really hoping that y'all decided you would like to go that direction. But even if you haven't, I just simply, I need to know that answer. Because I can't put in well, I'd like this much or I'd like this much. I need to finalize that. So any help you can give me with that would be appreciated.
When do you need that information?
I have to turn it in by the 30th.
Yeah.
And basically, to be honest with you, what I'm working on right now is I'm building a dual budget. One without any contributions from the city and one with.
Okay.
But it would help, I really don't want to wait till the 30th. If I can get 2 or 3 days before that, it would help me to nail it down. If you have been reading my various articles in the paper, I've been talking a lot. We are, to me, it's sad. We've lost the local chapter of the Lions Club in Pelham. As of April 24th, 1952 is when they launched their charter. If you don't know, I do have to share it, the club's sweetheart was Miriam Flint. So after 59 years, we don't have that group anymore. Good news is there's a lot of organizations in place today where people can get help with the vision, the hearing impairment, some of those elements. But one of the things that's gone from Pelham is $2,500 a year in scholarships. This was more than I could bear. We can't afford to lose $2,500 in scholarships. The Lions Club was kind enough to let the chamber their birthday calendar, which they've done last year was the 14th issue. If you're not familiar, it's simply your birthday will be noted on here. It makes a great gift for your family. The kids love seeing their name on the calendar. I'm going to leave in Doug's office some order forms in case you have any interest, anybody. I'd like to, the proceeds of this will ensure that the chamber can see that the sponsorship of the Star Student Scholarship continues. I'd like for it to be more. I don't suspect in the first year that I can get $2,500, but maybe next year we'll get closer to that. If we can at least get Star Student this year, next year maybe we get another one of them back, we can keep building it and make it happen. I think it's when you see a loss, you have to find a way to compensate for it if it's something as significant as that. So we're working on that very much as well. We will be helping at the Better Hometown with the pumpkin patch. That's going to be a lot of fun. Again, another avenue, bring people downtown, let them see our area, let them support our merchants, let them keep building as much as we can. On October 24th is the kickoff of Red Ribbon Week. This is National Drug Awareness, education with our kids. The Chamber's working very closely with Debbie Peavy, the chairperson of this. So we're looking forward to doing all we can to help there. And then, of course, we will wrap up October with Halloween. The Chamber will again do a carnival for the kids, as well as a haunted house. It does help keep our doors open, but it brings people out. And one of the things that we always hear back from these different events, whether they necessarily really bring in revenue, is people really appreciate and enjoy the opportunity of having something in Pelham they can come out and do. If you listen to everything I just talked about, there's lots of opportunities for people to get out and enjoy themselves and participate in Pelham, so we try to make that happen as well. So, is there anything I can answer for you? All right, thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you, Ken, appreciate it. Jimmy, anything on the joint development authority?
There was a meeting last week, had several different issues discussed, no long-term tenants, looking at it this time, we've got an abundance of short-term rentals on it for the next month or two. So
That's good.
there's at least 8 to 9 lined up in the next quarter.
Yeah, through December, probably closer to a dozen. So.
Wow, that's good. Kind of feeding on itself, isn't it? Seems to keep increasing.
And people love the building. Once
Yeah.
they hear about an event there, they want to come and see it, and they want that to be the landmark for their events.
Right. It's easy to get the address. All right. Nothing from the schools, Doug.
No report submitted.
Okay. We'll move on to administration committee. Councilman Hodges.
Okay, I'll call your attention to attachment D. I didn't have a fire report, but
No, the fire report is missing. We've not received one.
do you have any questions about any of the other reports? I continue to be impressed with James Timmons. He's got a very thorough report here, and looks like he's really doing a lot of good around town. But any questions or comments about that, you can direct to the city manager. Does anybody have anything before we go ahead?
I'm kind of pleased with James also. He's been busy.
If I may add something, last week, James was in Athens for his code enforcement officer 1 training, and today we received the test results, and he scored a 100 on one exam and 95 on the other, so
Good.
he did well while he was at class.
Next item we have is an alcohol license application for Casa Maya Restaurant. Attachment E is a letter from our police chief saying they've conducted a check and nothing was found in her background records to prevent her from acquiring an alcohol license. And so I'll make a motion that we grant this license for the remainder of the calendar year.
I'll second that.
Second by Mayor Pro Tem Eubanks. Any discussion? Any discussion on that? All right, all those in favor, please raise your hand. Okay, thank you, motion passes.
Next item is attachment F, closed meeting resolution. And I'll read that resolution of the Pelham City Council. Be it resolved by the Pelham City Council as follows. At the meeting held on the 18th day of July 2011, the council entered into closed session for the purpose of consultation with the city attorney to discuss potential litigation. At the close of the discussion upon this subject, the council did vote to re-enter into open session and herewith takes the following action in open session. The actions of the council and the discussion of the same regarding the matter set forth for closed session purposes are hereby ratified. Each member of this body does hereby confirm that to the best of his or her knowledge, based upon the advice of the city attorney, the said subject matter of the meeting and of the closed session portion were devoted to matters within the specific relevant exceptions as set forth above. The mayor or presiding officer is hereby authorized and directed to execute an affidavit with full support of the members of this council in order to comply with ACGA 5014-4B. This affidavit shall be included in file with official minutes of the meeting and shall be in a form as required by the state. I make a motion we adopt the resolution.
Second.
Second by Councilwoman Bell. All those in favor, please raise your hand.
Just as a note on that, since it was somewhat wordy, it is stated that, no vote was taken in there other than to reopen the regular meeting, so no actual action was taken in that. Just as clarification, since it was kind of wordy.
Okay, thank you, James. The next item is attachment G, policy for care, control of historic artifacts and items. And Kent touched on this one in his report, but I'll read this. Policy for care, control of historic artifacts and items. Whereas the city of Pelham, a municipality located in Mitchell County, Georgia, is the owner of certain historical artifacts and items, hereafter referred to as property, which are currently located in the depot building situated on West Railroad Street, Pelham, formerly the location of the City Hall of said city of Pelham. And whereas the Pelham Arts and Heritage Council have been entrusted with the care, control, and maintenance of said property owned by the city. And whereas it would be in the best interest of the city that said item be displayed in the aforesaid building, which is currently occupied by the Pelham Chamber of Commerce. Now therefore, the city does hereby authorize the following. 1, the director of the Pelham Chamber of Commerce and the chairperson of the Pelham Arts and Heritage Council will consult as to the display of said property in said building at such times and places as may be mutually agreed upon. 2, the Pelham Arts and Heritage Council will have the exclusive use of that certain vault located in the building currently occupied by the Pelham Chamber of Commerce in order to preserve and protect said items. 3, in the event that two said parties cannot agree as to which items of said property are displayed, how such property is to be displayed and the length of time of such display, the city manager is further authorized to determine after consultation with the director and chairperson the best arrangement to be put in place. 4, this agreement by the city of Pelham can be terminated by the city upon 30 days' notice to said director and chairman. 4, all parties will work in the best interest of the city of Pelham as to the proper use, care, control, and display of said items. Upon unanimous vote of the city council duly adopting this creation of policy for the care, control, and maintenance of historic artifacts and items. I'll make a motion to adopt the resolution.
Seconded.
Second by Mayor Pro Tem Eubanks. All those in favor, please raise your hand. All right, thank you.
And the item we added just now is the Georgia Interlocal Risk Management Agency. And this is a resolution. Doug?
It's really an agreement.
Agreement.
If you remember, GMA representatives came and met with us several months ago, and we spoke of creating an agreement. And we had a telephone conference with Attorney Chu and myself and a couple of members of the GMA faculty. And this is the agreement that we agreed upon for them to put in print. We've never had one in print before this time, so this is basically an agreement to what was discussed at the meeting we had several months back with them.
Okay. Does this need to be read?
I don't think so. It just really allows for, like you say, the installment payments on the rearage amount. And the first payment will be due, I believe, beginning on October the 15th, and be paid thereafter until the rearage is brought current.
I'll make a motion to adopt the agreement.
Second.
Second that, Councilman Clifton. All those in favor, please raise your hand. All right, thank you, motion passes.
That's all I have, Mr. Mayor.
All right, thank you. Public Works Committee, Mayor Pro Tem Eubanks.
Public Works, I just have one item tonight. It's the Transportation Enhancement Memorandum of Understanding, or attachment H. With that. And does this need to be read? This is quite lengthy. This is a Transportation Enhancement Memorandum of Understanding between the Georgia Department of Transportation and the City of Pelham. City of Pelham, hereafter called sponsor, and the Georgia Department of Transportation, hereafter called department. the sponsor assuming the responsibility for tasks associated with preliminary engineering for project number 0061011, hereafter called the project. Whereas the project is a transportation enhancement approved by the federal aid funds with required local match of at least 20% of the project's total cost. And this is referring to the streetscape project, a new phase of the streetscape project that the city is wanting to enter into. And this will allow us to move forward with that. This is a project that we will be starting on within the next 2 years. City Attorney, do I need to read that?
I don't think so. It'll be on, like I said, it'll be available to the public and for review.
This is a fairly lengthy document, but it is available for review here at City Hall and is just allowing us to move forward with this streetscape project over the next couple of years. As that, I'll make the motion that we adopt this memorandum of understanding.
I second.
Any discussion?
Who's got oversight of the project? Is it DOT or is it City of Pelham?
I believe it's going to be
Combination,
the
really.
engineering
Okay.
firm that's dealt with, but it would be the City of Pelham more. I mean, we'll have to have DOT's approval, but then it would be
Okay.
City of Pelham. They approve the project plans.
Any other discussion?
On the question, I just had a question about 20% of, so it's where the project is transportation enhancement approved for the required local match of at least 20%. Or 20% of what? And that's, of whatever project it is that what you said?
20% of the total cost of the project, and our total available grant that we have is $250,000.
We have 2 years.
We have 2 years to come up with the amount, and this amount can be offset by other things such as using some of our inmate labor in kind and with some of the funding that the Better Hometown's already been raising to put towards parts of this project. So the total cost to the city will be less than that, but there will be some financial obligation the city will have to meet. Our estimate would be somewhere 30,000 or less probably, which is a difficult amount for us to come up with at this point, but at the risk of losing $250,000 to go with it, it would be very difficult to pass up the opportunity to get nearly $300,000 worth of work done where you can come up with $30,000.
With the inclusion of the in-kind, is doable, certainly over a 2-year period, even time that I spend on the project or dealing with representatives from DOT or the engineers included in with that too. So actual cash will not, full 20%, certainly not cash.
Any other discussion? We have a motion and a second. All those in favor, please raise your hand. Thank you. Motion passes. That's all Public Works. City Manager's report.
I'd like to announce that Halloween will be celebrated in the city of Pelham on Halloween, Monday, October 31st, and hours to be observed from 5 p.m. to 8 p.m. We'll be sending out some things, some safety suggestions and that sort of thing in the upcoming weeks. Chief, you have anything you'd like to add to that?
Not yet. We get closer, we will.
We usually have a good and safe Halloween in the city of Pelham. We appreciate everyone's cooperation for that. That's the only thing I have in my report.
City Attorney.
I don't have anything tonight.
I need to cut Doug off. Anybody have any questions for Doug? Or go back to that thing? I don't have much of a report. I just wanted to say that Kent bringing up the Lions Club and then the Garden Club cleaning up downtown like they did, and the agreement that we adopted tonight between the Arts and Heritage Council and Chamber of Commerce, all that just puts me in mind of volunteers. And all of those things are volunteer-driven, and I'm just very thankful that we have such a very good group of volunteers in Pelham that does so much through different organizations. I'm just singling those out because we discussed them tonight, but there are many others. And Pelham continues to be blessed with a great amount of people who give of their time and energy to help the community, and I'm very appreciative of that. And it was obvious this week when we were driving through town to see all the ladies from the garden club out there, and at different times you see that, and we'll see a lot more of that, through the fall as we get these festivals and things coming up. But just a word of thanks and appreciation to all of those who give of themselves for the town and all that they do. So, anything else?
Mr. Mayor, if I might, we will not have another meeting before the Wildlife Festival, and just tell everybody in the community that we are having a parade that Saturday morning. And as I coordinate most of that, any organizations, groups that want to participate, if you will seek me out, I guess you can call the City Hall and they can forward me your number, and we'll be glad to have you participate.
All right. If there's nothing else, I'll entertain a motion to adjourn.
Make that motion.
Second by Councilman Parker. All those in favor, please raise your hand. Thank you.